Welcome to another interview by Project Cargo Weekly. And our special guest of honor today is Miss Kristína Vetráková, who is the Business Development Manager of WOF Expo in Bratislava, Slovakia. First of all, Kristína, welcome to this interview.
Thank you very much for having me, Bo. Really nice to see you all and meet you all. Pleasure.
It's a pleasure to have you here. First and foremost, as you know, with some of my interviewees, I always ask them first how they ended up in the position they're in. So although you are a very young lady, may I ask you, how did you end up working for WOF Expo?
Absolutely. So where to start, really? As you mentioned, maybe a bit young, but at the same time, since early age, I was really keen to travel and get to know the world. So I started my journey moving to Prague, Czech Republic, where I studied international relations and politics. But after a certain time, I kind of felt the city is a bit too small for me. So I moved to the UK, directly to London. And I stayed there for about 10 years working as an events manager. So events was always a field of area that I felt at home in. And as you probably know, the pandemic hit the whole world quite significantly. So I started to discussing whether it would be a good time to move back home to Slovakia. And this opportunity came around. I found a great offer to join a nice startup company that is basically dealing and focusing on this logistics and supply chain event. And here I am, the rest is history. So I joined the WOF team. And when I just think back, I was actually always surrounded by freight forwarding industry. When I was around 5 years old, my father set it his own freight forwarding company. So I've been always traveling with him across the V4 roads in the countries. So it's always been around, and I kind of took it as a challenge to deepen my knowledge within the industry and merge it with the events, really. So here I am.
Okay. That's really interesting that you have freight forwarding in the family. Yes, it's a bit similar to me. My dad was a retired sea captain, and when I was a kid, I wanted to be a journalist, and he said, "No, boy, that's not good for you." So I got into shipping, and now I'm journalist finally, because now I can decide. So
you always need to make your dreams come true.
That's it.
Later down the line, but you need to come to it. So
fully agree.
Good for you as well.
Listen, explain to our listeners and viewers here, WOF Expo, I hear that you have a major event planned for this year, of course, subject to COVID, but speaking as if COVID wasn't here, tell us more about the event and what you are planning to do.
Absolutely. So we will be hosting this event, as you said, COVID permitting, in September. So we're starting from 8th till 10th of September 2021. And this year's expo will be taking place in our hometown, Bratislava in Slovakia. We really think that it's a great proximity to Austria, Czech Republic, and Hungary as well. So we really thought that it would be great to start the first year here. We really think that presently the CEE region is one of really the most important areas of logistics and transportation in Europe. And it has become a driving force for essential industries such as automotive, manufacturing, airspace, pharmaceuticals, really basically everything that you can possibly think of. So there is indeed a lot of production. New distribution centers and warehouses has been established. So we really see a good progress in terms of quality and services that are provided. So it sort of came natural for us to come to this conclusion, to create something unique for our region. So basically Central Eastern Europe region. Basically, after big research and discussions with the industry professionals, we sort of came to the point that there was something missing in our region. So we decided to fill the gap on the market and bring something special and unique to our regional players as well. Sorry.
No, I'm just wanting to ask you the focus on your expo. It will be, I mean, there are a few logistics expos like the Munich Fair, which has been cancelled already this year, and there are others. And I do agree with you from my standpoint here that Eastern Europe is a strong point at the moment with solid business, a lot of investment from Korea, China, and whatnot. So it's good timing for you. But tell us how the expo will be. Will it be where you have stands and you will have speakers, or it'll be a logistics expo where people from around the world can join, isn't it?
That's correct. So we are currently in a great position, and we've really been overwhelmed by the positive response despite the current situation. We already have participants from over 44 countries confirmed. So it's snowballing really nicely. And basically, we want to merge everyone under one roof. So not only providers, but also the companies that provide solutions to those companies. So you can basically find all and everything under one roof. And we do also have a thematic areas that we are focusing on. So we are basically merging the booths, so the expo itself, where you can present your company in the best possible way, as well as with the conference program. So our aim is to bring really unique speakers to the region, really to produce or express their know-how and inspire the players from our region. So when it comes to the program itself, we are focusing on digitalization, innovations, e-commerce, as well as startups, and such a huge part in our program plays also Green Deal. So we're really trying to focus on these 5 topics, as we call it, the main conference pillars, and revolve everything around it.
Okay, so 44 countries already. That's pretty impressive. How does one go about it if some of our readers and viewers here would like to know more and also join? I suppose that you would be the first point of contact. And the speakers that you have you already lined up some of the speakers for your event? And I suppose these speakers come from, they may be ship owners or logistics providers or forwarding specialists. Tell us more about the attraction of the speakers.
Of course. So we currently, as I said, we have these 5 topics that we revolve the conference program about. Just to mention a few, we already released a topic called Smart Logistics, which we are preparing in collaboration with really innovative companies that are based in Slovakia, and they are also huge international players. So we would also like to give them the platform to present themselves to a wider audience. As we said, 44 countries already, so it's a great opportunity for them. As well, another topics that we are discussing would be the decarbonization, for example, which will be led by Siemens Mobility. As well, we will have some other panelists to join, such as DHL Express, just to think of you, TTS Group, which represents river services. So it's really a quite broad spectrum. You're really trying to give added value to the visitors as well as the companies that will be present there. So we're really trying to make our best to make sure that everyone has a great time and that we can finally see face to face, because it's been quite difficult, all these video calls all the time. So it would be nice to finally do some business in person.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with you. I don't know anyone in my contact sphere that's not a little bit tired of the Zoom calls. Of course, it's smart that we can do it, but we need to shake people's hand, give them a hug, have a drink together, and talk, chew the fat, as we say in English, with whoever we meet. And I think your plan is good, and I like that the location is in Eastern Europe, because let's say Central Europe, of course, but in traditional ways, the eastern part. And of course, Bratislava is not always on people's mind. They first would think Hamburg, Antwerp, Bremen, but I think it's a good choice. How many, let's say, COVID again permitting, how many visitors would you expect that you could attract to your expo?
So given the latest research that we've done with the databases we have available, we sort of estimating between 9,000 till 10,000 visitors spread it across 3 days. But of course, everything must be taken care of when it comes to the COVID restrictions. So we are closely monitoring the situation. And of course, we will try to provide the safety for the visitors and the exhibitors. That's our main priority. So of course, we will be reviewing the numbers as we speak. Let's say we really try to monitor and keep the guidelines of the Slovakian government in mind when communicating anything further.
Okay, and just for our viewers here to understand the location of Slovakia, tell me the distance to Vienna, the location of Bratislava in Slovakia. Tell us a bit, because people flying in there, not necessarily direct flights from Asia to Bratislava, they might be flying into Vienna and then take a car from there. What's the location of Bratislava?
That's correct. So basically, I would say the closest international airport would be Švechat, so Vienna airport. I would say it's roughly 45 minutes ride to central Bratislava, where also the expo is located. So great opportunity for visitors to get to know Bratislava a little bit better. Maybe you'll see Bratislava is just right behind me. So
Oh, yes.
the expo is not far from here and the old town. So really nice location for you to observe the city and experience the city as well. And also close proximity to Budapest, I would say 1 hour and a half, roughly.
Okay, so what we are saying, what you're saying is that if people travel in from Asia, they could combine it with a visit to definitely Budapest is historically also very beautiful. It's nearby Vienna for opera and whatnot. And you could make a kind of trip out of it, attending your expo and then also see a few of the major cities of Europe, isn't it?
Absolutely. So Central Europe, let's say the Czech Republic, Poland, Slovakia, and Hungary, they are beautiful countries. And as well, everyone loves Vienna and its art. So great way to combine everything all together. I know many friends of mine, when I used to live in the UK, they always did this trip where they visited Vienna, Bratislava, Budapest, and sometimes Prague as well. So
Nice.
You can make the most out of it indeed. It's not so far. You can literally just take a train or a car and within like 4 or 5 hours to Prague, maybe a bit longer, but yeah, within 5-6 hours, you could do a nice round trip indeed.
Okay, very good. And may I ask just another question that comes to mind? Czechoslovakia, that was the country before, and now it's Czech Republic and Slovakia. Do you speak the same language in Slovakia as you do in Czech, or how is, just so I, for my understanding?
It's pretty similar. I mean, there are certain differences, but really, really tiny one. As I said, I studied in Prague, so all my thesis and works could be submitted in Slovakian just because it's really, really similar. But as I said, there are certain words that are completely different. And sometimes Czech people have problem to understand some Slovakian phrases just because we are quite used to, I would say, Czech voiceover movies.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of familiar more with the Czech language than they are with the Slovakian,
Okay.
but we can still understand each other.
Okay, but I'm sure that the beer in Bratislava is good. So after a couple of beers, I know from many of the people I know who will be coming to your great expo, I'm sure, after a few beers, they will speak all kinds of languages. So
that's correct.
Not a problem, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you are expecting several thousand visitors there, and when would be the registration time? You can register now for it, or how your website has, let's say I want to join your expo as a visitor. Where do I go? I go to your website and sign up and buy a ticket, or how does it work?
So we are currently launching a campaign that will be aimed to sell the tickets. So we are launching it pretty soon, I would say by close of play this month. So you can definitely sign up to our newsletter and be up to date and snap up the tickets, just because there will be a discounted price for a certain period. So you can definitely get in touch either directly with me or just sign up via our newsletter to stay up to date. And if you would decide to join us as an exhibitor, or would you like to find out more about other options of increased visibility and things like that, I'm the right person to speak to. So
definitely. Now,
if you both can leave my contact details, I'll be happy
yeah,
to.
No. I can see that you have an event manager background. You have answers to almost everything. So
I like to plan. I used to be event planner as well, so I plan pretty decently. So yeah, everything's scheduled and
excellent.
To that.
That's good, Kristína. No, but I look forward to spread the word about your expo, and I will certainly do what I can. In Project Cargo Weekly, we reach about 40,000 receivers worldwide, and this interview I plan to put on the air next Thursday, and it'll also be shared on LinkedIn. So yes, I really appreciate that you took your time to speak to me. Are there any, let's say, final words that you would like to say? Why should somebody come to your expo if there is a choice of expos? Why should they come to you?
I would say because we are one of a kind in Central Eastern Europe for sure, and we are trying to bring as many new opportunities to our region as possible. So perhaps just to mention a few, we are planning on having a one-to-one scheduler, so you can really plan your experience at the expo to the max. So to maximize your selling and networking opportunities, you will have the option to either accept or decline the meeting request. So that's something new, we think. And also we will be focusing on, as I said, these 5 conference pillars that we really think are resonating in our industry greatly at the moment. So we would really be happy to see you all there. And if you need any further information, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be happy to help.
So we might call it the Tinder of expos.
Indeed. Exactly. You can swipe left or right.
Yes, exactly. Very good. Excellent, Kristína. I want to formally thank you very much for joining.
Thank you very much for having me. Really appreciate the time you have spent with me. And as I said, we really hope to see you all there. And thanks again, Bo. It's been a pleasure.
You are most welcome. To all our listeners, viewers, and readers around the world, this was yet another great interview. And that, of course, I must say, since I hosted the interview. And this time it was with Miss Kristína Vetráková of WOF Expo in Bratislava, Slovakia. Do look at their website. It'll be coming after this interview. And also do sign up, because I do agree with her as editor of PCW that Central and Eastern Europe has a great future in store. So thank you for this, and welcome to further interviews in the near future. Bye.